It was the year 2197. New Karth was a graveyard. It showed a disaster that was forgotten. Its bones, the frames of once tall towers, scratched at the fiery sky. The land itself was a picture of pure ruin. Deep, angry cracks ran all over the dead ground. These cracks twisted through the broken streets and fallen buildings. These cracks were like open cuts on the world's skin. They oozed a weird silence, a quietness that shouted about the scary things that happened. Nothing grew here anymore. Nothing was alive. Just dust and the ghosts of what was once there. Up above, the sky wasn't empty. A giant blue storm was churning with a bad kind of energy. It covered the whole sky, a spinning swirl of strange light. It looked like a hungry black hole, ready to eat up whatever was left of this ruined world. Streaks of its blue energy pulsed slowly, like a warning of something bad. The storm was always there, and it was terrifying. It made long shadows that danced over the broken city. These shadows looked like they were alive, twisting all around. The air crackled with a hidden power, coming from that big hole in the sky. It promised a total mess, or maybe a way out. The buildings still up were just empty frames. Their windows were like blank eyes, staring at nothing. The wind was the only thing living in the city. It whistled sad tunes through the broken buildings. It carried quiet whispers of forgotten names and lost dreams. Twisted metal and broken concrete made giant piles. They were like gravestones for a whole city of people. Every pile of broken stuff told a quiet story about how everything was suddenly and totally destroyed. Everything was destroyed. It showed a power so strong it could wipe out whole worlds, just like that. A strange quiet filled New Karth. It was a silence so heavy, it felt like it was pushing you down. The normal city sounds, like people talking, cars moving far away, and the general buzz of life, were all gone, for a long, long time. Now, all you could hear was the wind sighing through the bony frames of buildings, and the quiet, creepy hum from the blue swirl up in the sky. This quiet was like a heavy blanket, stopping any tiny bit of hope from showing up. It was the quiet of the very end, a deep final ending to a time, with no turning back. On the jagged edge of a skyscraper, half of it torn down, a figure was standing. Her name was Nira. She was a dark shape against the wild blue of the storm. She wore a sleek black suit. It fit her like a second skin, made for moving fast and being quiet. On her chest, a piece of her armor glowed with a soft light from inside. This light pulsed gently, as if it was copying a hidden heartbeat. She stood tense, watchful. Every part of her body showed she was ready, like a hunted animal, ready to run away. Nira was not from this dead time. She was running away. A time agent who had broken her most important promise. She was running from those who made strict rules about time. This empty future, New Karth in the year 2197, was the only place she could try to hide. Or so she hoped. It was a place where very few would dare to follow her. A place where even time itself seemed to be tearing apart and coming undone. She had picked this dangerous hiding place carefully, hoping to disappear into its deep emptiness. Her eyes were fixed on a device on her wrist. Its small screen flickered, showing a complicated math problem about time. Below the confusing symbols, a timer was counting down, never stopping. Each number that went down felt like a heavy hit to her hope. This device was her only way to survive, her only key to escape the trap that was closing in on her. It promised a doorway, a quick path through time and space, but the math had to be perfect, and the chance to use it was tiny. There was no room for mistakes. The glowing armor on her chest was more than just for protection. It was part of her time travel tools, helping her stay connected to the flow of time. But even its special technology was having a hard time with the wild energies of this age. She was here because she had no other choice. The ones hunting her were stubborn and would not give up. They were like the hunting dogs of time, and she was the one they were after. This ruined city, with its scary blue storm, was the place for her last, desperate chance. Suddenly, a new sound cut through the sad wind, a high-pitched mechanical whine. The sound got louder and closer. Nira quickly looked up. Her eyes scanned the troubled sky. Dark shapes appeared from the burning clouds. They were flying robots, smooth and scary. Their metal bodies shined like a hunter against the blue storm. They moved with a strange, smooth grace, all together. Guards from a forgotten time, or maybe her chasers had finally arrived. The robots spread out, their eye sensors glowing with a cold red light. They were hunters. Their spinning blades cut through the air, making a harsh sound with the wind. The sound was terrifying. It was the sound of cold, calculated death coming closer. Without warning, their weapon ports opened up. Small missiles, like angry wasps, shot out from under them. Explosions shook the already unsteady building under Nira's feet. Dust and broken pieces fell around her like rain. She swayed but stayed in her spot. Nira, we're almost there! The time gate will be stable for 1 second. Exactly 1 second. She didn't need to look at the countdown to feel the rush. It was burned into her mind. Neera, if I miss this jump, I'm lost. I'll be scattered across forever. Understand? No one was there to answer, but she said it anyway. A little ritual to steady her nerves. The stress was like a real force. It was pressing on her from all sides. The scream of the robots as they got closer, the roar of the blue storm, the non-stop ticking of the countdown on her wrist. Every second stretched out like forever. The robots were closing in fast, their laser beams drawing lines of fire dangerously close to where she stood. She could feel the heat from their explosions. Her heart was pounding in her chest, like fast drums beating before the silence of failure or the roar of escape. The last seconds were slipping away. 3, 2, 1. Neera took one last quick look at the ruined land of New Karth. The skeleton buildings, the cracked ground, the beautiful and choking scariness of the blue storm. Was this goodbye to another broken world? Or a look back at a cage she was about to escape from? No time for answers, no time for feelings, only time for the jump. The only chance. When the countdown on her wrist device hit 0, a part of the blue storm right in front of her flashed. It pulsed hard for a moment, and a tunnel of deeper, stronger blue light appeared. This was the gate. Neera didn't wait. She pushed herself off the crumbling edge. She threw herself into the deep drop, a small dark shape against a huge spinning picture of space energy. It was a pure act of desperation, an act of courage that wouldn't give up. Going through the time gate was like being torn apart and put back together at the same time. Colors she had never seen before flashed behind her eyelids. Pressures she couldn't imagine crushed her, then let go. The sound was a deafening roar that swallowed all other thoughts. It was the sound of time itself bending, breaking, and being made new. She felt her mind stretch and shrink. For a moment, she was everything and nothing, a tiny speck of dust caught in a giant space storm. Her glowing chest plate lit up, trying to keep her whole. Then, as suddenly as it started, it was over. The chaos calmed down. The roar turned into a far-off hum. Neera felt solid ground under her, though her senses were still wobbly. She stumbled, trying to catch her breath. The air here felt different. The light was strange. She looked behind her. The wild blue storm, her scary gateway, was gone. Or maybe she was gone from it. Where had she landed? In what time? In what world? The silence that answered her unspoken question was big, deep, and totally scarily unknown.